At the beginning of 2025, Ukrainian units, aiming to prevent the semi-encirclement of Pokrovsk, launched a series of localized counterattacks on the positions of the Russian armed forces. The main forces of the AFU were directed toward capturing 𝐔𝐤𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐴, 𝐑𝐮𝐬𝐬𝐢𝐚, to 𝐔𝐤𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐴, to advance further toward Novotroitska and create a threat of encirclement for the entire Russian armed forces grouping southwest of Pokrovsk. On the background of the failed attempt to capture Pishchane, the AFU decided to shift the main blow to the area of 𝐔𝐤𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐴, which by that time remained mostly a gray zone and was not fortified by the Russian armed forces. By March 13th, the enemy, relying on Belhika, managed to get a grip on the northeastern outskirts of the village with significant losses. By March 18th, the AFU managed to occupy most of 𝐔𝐤𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐴 with heavy fighting and began preparations to continue the offensive towards Novotroitsk. Nevertheless, the enemy was unable to build on its success. The effective work of Russian UAV operators and artillery prevented them from building up reserves and gaining a foothold in the village. In fact, the Ukrainian units that sought to achieve tactical success at 𝐔𝐤𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐴 were lured into a fire sack. As early as the 20th of March, the Russian armed forces launched a counterattack and regained control of most of the village. They even reached parts of its northern outskirts by March 22nd. At the same time, on the central section of the Pokrovsk-Mirnohrad direction, fighting continues near 𝐔𝐤𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐴, from where the AFU had previously been forced to partially withdraw. The enemy is transferring reserves from Mirnohrad to the area and is attempting to dislodge Russian troops from the eastern outskirts of the village and its southern approaches. Russian armed forces units are gradually pushing forward to the ruins of the private sector, advancing on 𝐔𝐤𝐫𝐚𝐢𝐴 and neighboring Suky Yar. The fighting at the site is fierce, and sometimes there are even reports of hand-to-hand combat during the assault on AFU positions.